report has given definitive information about the meaning of the term gender sensitization. Gender sensitization implies accepting the basic rights associated with gender equality among all persons and non-discrimination towards those whose gender identity places them in a situation of disadvantage or vulnerability. In other words, we are moving towards the goal of gender equality for all persons. As the report states, the complex hierarchies and inequalities that structure higher education institutions, as well as the real heterogeneity among students, makes for a particularly challenging situation that must be explicitly addressed. Further, the Saksham report emphasizes that there is considerable acknowledgement of the need to address students and make them more gender sensitive, as well as inculcate notions of rights and respect towards everyone, irrespective of gender, class, caste, region, language, religion, sexual orientation, ability, and so on. Everyone working on campuses must be gender sensitized, including faculty and all sections of the administration and support staff. We must remember that open and distance learning, with its flexibility to learn at one's own time, place, and pace, offers considerable advantages for women learners. The woman learner is freed from the constraints of real-time, brick-and-mortar learning situations. This has particular significance also for learners from other marginalized sections of society. ODL, or Open and Distance Learning Systems, are therefore empowering learning systems. IGNOU can provide direction and leadership with its gender sensitization initiative, not just to the university system as a whole, but the entire ODL family as well.
Today we have gathered here for a very momentous occasion and also for a launch of a very significant and socially relevant initiative, which is Gender Sensitization Initiative by SOGDS in collaboration with RSD. Now it is time for us to accord floral welcome to our esteemed guests and panelists. A warm welcome to Honorable PVC in charge of the school, Professor Sushma Yadav, who is the guest of honors for today's program.
Happy demonstration.
We welcome Honorable PVC Professor Nageshwar Rao and also Honorable PVC Professor P. Prakash.
Very much.
Welcome Director RSD, Dr. S.K. Mahapatra. Now I request Professor Anu J. Thomas, Director of School of Gender and Development Studies, to give her remarks and formal welcome to all the panelists and our esteemed guests.
Thank you, Nilima. I may mention here that she is the coordinator of this Gender Sensitization Initiative from School of Gender and Development Studies, and Dr. Neeta Kapai from the Regional Services Division. In fact, this is a collaborative venture of ours, the school and the Regional Services Division, so we're very happy, sir, to have you here. Let me accord my gratitude to our Pro-Vice Chancellor in charge, Professor Sushma Yadav. We are deeply indebted to you, madam, for your inspiration, guidance, constant encouragement, which has made this function a reality. My warm gratitude to Professor Nageshwar Rao, Pro-Vice Chancellor. We are very grateful to you, sir, that you spared your valuable time to be with us, and this is crucial across schools, divisions, centers, units, cells across the university system. And in fact, it's not just IGNOU, but we're talking about the entire ODL family, which we should really be looking at, not just in terms of a limited impact, but looking further and how best we can make this a success. It is something that is very crucial at this juncture, as we all know. May I now also extend a warm welcome to Professor P. Prakash, Honorable Pro-Vice Chancellor. And we are particularly grateful to all the Pro-Vice Chancellors for being there, because the impetus is going to come from them. There are schools and divisions under their charge, and we hope that we can establish meaningful collaborations and partnerships and take this forward. So warm welcome to all our distinguished panelists, and especially a warm welcome to our audiences at headquarters as well as the regional centers. It is indeed a pleasure and a privilege to be interacting in this fashion. We really look forward to your feedback and your guidance to us at this point. And whatever frameworks, design frameworks we have developed so far, we do hope that it can be enriched further with the guidance of the regional centers and the experts who are spread all across the country. So with these few words, I now hand it back to Nilima to conduct the rest of the proceedings.
Thank you, Professor Anu Thomas. Now I would request Honorable PVC in charge of the school, Professor Sushma Yadav, to deliver her address as guest of honor.
Thank you, Dr. Srivastava. For years, I think, the Government of India and before that the whole world has been trying to create a system and a society where all genders are treated equally. That is what we really look forward to. This day is basically to remind each one of us that we are all equal. And I say we move beyond equality now, because it's not being mere equal. I think we've already understood that. It's equity that we are moving towards, because nobody can be perfectly equal, neither to men, nor to women, nor men and women. We have our own roles and we have our own responsibilities, and both the roles and responsibilities need to be understood, need to be acknowledged, and need to be sensitized about. That is what the role of Women's Day is there, and that is what the role of an educated society or an aware society is all about. I think it is in this background that Government of India started thinking about making the universities sensitized first. And a report I was quite surprised to find, and shocked also at times, to see that report, which is called Saksham Report, where the UGC with great difficulty got responses from the university about the gender sensitization situation. Most of the universities now do have something like women development departments, women development centers, women studies centers. But despite that, the kind of sensitization and awareness is required was found lacking in most of the universities. And that report, I think, finally made, Professor Prakash has been in UGC before, made the UGC also aware of its responsibility, that they have to see to it that the universities become at least sensitized. Because if universities are not sensitized, then a whole generation which is passing through these universities remain completely insensitive and completely unaware of the new changes which are coming up in almost all the spheres of life. And keeping that in mind, most of the universities, I think, started not only women studies centers or women development centers, but gender sensitive initiatives. I think this gender sensitive initiative or sensitization initiative is very, very important. And I must compliment a department of or School of Gender Development and Studies. Gender sensitization initiative, I think, is a very sensitive issue also. I say it is sensitive because you cannot just think about and then preach about something. You cannot cut each other's throats also, and you cannot make people sensitized like that. It's sensitive issue that we understand each other's responsibilities, we understand each other's powers, we understand each other's specialties also, and we understand each other's distinct qualities which nature has given to them, but which have not been nurtured properly or have been nurtured improperly by the society later. This is what gender sensitization is all about. Usually it is said in gender discourse that a woman is not born, she is made. And if we start understanding this, I think half the battle will be won. Because we become what we are because of the environment that we all grow in. Where from the very, very beginning of our lives we are taught, be afraid of this, be afraid of this, don't go to this side, don't talk like this, don't sit like this, don't do anything like this. And then we start believing that. And then we become really gendered women. Because we start believing that, oh, if we go like this, if we dress like this, if we speak like this, then something wrong is there or something wrong may happen to us. Gender sensitization initiative is all about understanding and breaking these taboos. The taboos which need to be broken. Not that every taboo may need to be broken, but everyone needs certain kinds of norms for themselves, but they shouldn't be taboos. The norms must be there, and so one norm is that dignity of every individual is very important. Another norm is every individual is born with one's own respect and one's own qualities, which need to be always taken care of, regarded, nurtured, nourished. If we start understanding this, I think we will be creating a society which is a healthier society, which is better society. Talking theoretically that we all have equal rights, talking theoretically that all men and women are equal, and talking theoretically that everyone has equal respect and equal dignity may not really serve the purpose. We must move beyond these theoretical prescriptions. And I think that is one of the aims and objectives of this gender sensitization initiative which is being launched today. The role is changing, the perspectives of women are changing, and the society has to keep pace with that change. If we understand that change and we accommodate that change and we accommodate that our mindsets also according to that change, I think we'll move towards a gender sensitive society. But till then, these kinds of initiatives are required, and I again compliment the school. They have really created a very good course. They have created, I think later on, first it will be awareness and sensitization, and then maybe we have certain courses also, because we are a university and we must perform that important duty as well. And I think this kind of initiative, today the whole world is in Women's Day mode. And you can see it all around. Wherever you go, if it is a large institution or a large organization, you will find a very big placard which is celebrating womanhood, which is celebrating Women's Day. But I think we have to move towards substantial mindset changes. With this, I'll request Dr. Srivastava to go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am, for your insightful thoughts and also placing gender sensitization initiative into perspective. Now I would request our Honorable PVC, Professor Nageshwar Rao, to give his remarks.
First of all, I compliment the school for taking such a great initiative. There are some basic facts relating to the women in the globe as a whole. They perform 2/3 of the whole work. Only 1/3 is being performed by men. I am not against men, but this is the fact.
It's a fact.
Then 1/10 of the total income it is being generated by
women.
the women. 9/10 that is being generated by we people who perform only 1/3 of the work. And as far as the property is concerned, 1/100 property is owned by our female gender. When we look into this whole scenario, what we see that even today also the mindset is such wherein the half of the population, that is the male population, it usually controls the female population. That is the mindset, and that is a sort of subordination to which our Honorable PVC has rightly pointed out. Even the basic human rights, they are not being given to them. And that is why the basic issues which are being confronted in our country, they have to be looked into very carefully. And at the same time, we also see that the mindset of the people, it has still not changed much. That visibility also we can see when we look at our newspapers, look at our media. So that issues must be known to all of us. And why it should be known to all of us? Because IGNOU, it has got the largest access in the globe. We are reaching to 30 lakh students. We are reaching to all corners of the country through 67 regional centers. Population to which we reach, they are staying in those areas where no one can reach. Normally, in case of this open and distance education, we say that the access is the greatest advantage to which we all belong. And that is why we have got a greater role to play in this area of gender sensitization. So when we pass on this information to this our family, IGNOU family, consisting of more than 30 lakh students, then it also puts us some sort of responsibility that how we have to move ahead. So that is why the issues, they must be probed by all of us, and it should be known to by all of us, so that we can let those issues be known to the people, known to our own family, and then our family, it can further extend it to other people who are living in the country. Domestic violence, this has to be stopped if we consider that they are the equal partners in our whole economic, social or political setup. Then female discrimination at work. Even when you look at the cricket, the most popular game, there the male cricketers are there and the female cricketers are all there. You ask that how much they get for the same work. Look at these big stars, the film stars. There also we see that the environment is such, the male stars, they get much more. And even the people, they like to see those movies more which have got the male domination. So again, that mindset is to be seen. So workplace, the equality in terms of remuneration, the quantum of work. When you look at our Factories Act also, there also they talk about certain provisions relating to the women workers, but that is never being adhered, and even till today we see that the women, they are being asked to work for more than the required number of hours which is being stipulated as per our statutory legislations. Dowry, still the people say that they are not taking the dowry, but we see that in most of the occasions the dowry deaths and all those things, they are becoming very common. Sati system, of course, for which the people say that a lot of control is there, but I have seen those websites recently, today itself, wherein I have seen even the instances of satis. They were found in 2008 and 2010 also. So that is also an area which needs to be thought about. And finally, the biggest issue which we all are facing right at this point of time in almost all the media, that is the rape laws and the rape related issues. The mindset of the people, that needs to be changed, and rightly our PVC has talked about it. When we talk about this gender sensitization, normally we do have a feeling that this is something in favor of females. It is not like that. This theory is not to be called as a war of sexes. It is not to be called as a thesis of anti-male. It is a situation wherein both men as well as women, both are going to gain, and they both are at stake when we look at this issue positively by changing our own mindset. One thing to which I would like to draw attention of all of you is that this particular phenomenon of gender, it is related to society and the customs. It talks about the changes in the social values, the changes in the customs. It does not talk about the biological issues which relates to sex. And that is very emphatically kept in mind in all of us, so that we can think in those directions more effectively. When we are looking at our ODL system, by looking at all these issues, why it is not going to our next generation? We must have a plan of action for that. The plan of action may be that when we look at our basic courses, the foundation courses, are we in a position to add at least some portion of this gender sensitization as a value-added course, or it is to be blended in our foundation course in such a way so that at least our next generation, they must also understand that how this issue is to be looked into and how we can tackle this greater problem in a big way. And our Honorable Vice Chancellor is looking into this particular issue in a greater way. Right now, the courses, they are also being revamped, And if at UG level, if such sort of experiment is being carried out, then our reach, since our reach is very effective, we can reach to almost all the corners of the country. Through this sort of a change in syllabi, by including some of the issues relating to the gender sensitization, we can reach to the larger number of people for changing their mindset.
Now I would request our Honorable PC, Professor P. Prakash, to give his remarks.
Very happy Women's Day. And education is one sector which empowers every one of us, because there is no discrimination of caste, creed, region, religion, nor the gender also. If by any chance, if many of you are ignorant what is gender, then I have to only cite those Article 14, 15, 16 of Constitution of India, which empowers the gender of women for their rights, and the Article 51A, which makes you all the more empowered to not even have a derogatory remark against women. Women are empowered through ODL system, because for a very long time, generation after generation, we had this social taboo and stigma in the minds of men that women are not on par with men, be it be workforce, be it be at home or otherwise. But let me tell you, women are more wiser than men. I wouldn't mind confessing this fact, because they are the ones who are builders of home, a society and a nation. This generation need to possess or embed a part of gender sensitization and gender justice in our curricula, be it social sciences, be it humanities, be it languages or science. I do remember way back in 1992-93, UGC sent a radar-like component in all the curricula for environmental consciousness. And maybe the need of the hour is to see that we also send through our ODL system in all the disciplines that we teach, that there should be a component of gender consciousness that makes every one of us more aware of the requirement of gender in the society and its sensitivity. The statutory bodies have made enough interventions in this field. The educational institutions also have made enough interventions in this field, but it is we as academicians need to implement them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your thoughts and also talking about the relevance of this initiative vis-a-vis higher education system per se. Now it is time to thank all the people and divisions of the university